I'm David Morgan, and this is Echo Mind, where we listen closely to the quiet wisdom of those who've lived long and well. We explore the small, often overlooked habits that keep people resilient, not by defying age, but by embracing movement as a lifelong companion. Some mornings, I admit, my joints creak louder than the floorboards in an old cabin. But that's just part of the story. What matters more is how we respond to those little signs. And today, I want to share something that might change how you think about aging, not as a decline, but as a continuation. Years ago, in a coastal village in northern Portugal, I watched an 81-year-old fisherman named Rafael squat beside his wooden boat, scrubbing the hull with a worn brush. He dipped his hands into a bucket, shifted his weight effortlessly, then rose without using his hands. No hesitation, no wobble, no gym, no supplements. Just decades of natural motion woven into daily life. The secret? It's not some exotic routine or miracle diet. It's how he sits, how he stands, how he rests. These movements are so ordinary, they're invisible, until you realize they're the very reason he's still strong at 80. And the most surprising part? The greatest benefit of this habit has nothing to do with muscles. It's deeper. It's about presence. It's about belonging. If what you're hearing resonates, a simple like or subscribe helps this space grow. And if you feel moved, pressing the thanks button supports meals and shelter for those spending nights without warmth. Because strength isn't just personal, it's shared. 1. The morning that begins on the ground. Before the coffee brews, the day has already started. Outside, a soft fog lingers over the olive grove, and the scent of wet soil drifts through the open window. A neighbor rakes leaves, the rhythm of the broom echoing the slow pulse of dawn. Inside, Lena, 76, lowers herself onto a cushion beside a low wooden table. Steam rises from her cup of roasted corn tea, filling the room with a warm, earthy fragrance. A small dish of fermented turnips sits nearby. She isn't thinking about fitness. She's wondering if the rain will hold off, so she can plant kale in the garden. Yet, as she settles in, her thighs engage, her hips open gently, her spine lifts, her toes press lightly into the woven mat for balance. Effortless, automatic. She's activating muscles many of us only use once a year, like when we drop a fork at a wedding and scramble under the table. We call it functional fitness. Lena calls it breakfast. I tried it myself one winter morning. My knees protested like an old engine refusing to start. But after a few days, something shifted. The stiffness faded. Lowering down and rising up no longer felt like a challenge. It felt like returning to a rhythm I'd forgotten. Starting your day on the floor does more than stretch your body. It wakes up your balance before you've even stepped outside. Your joints feel smoother, as if oiled overnight. Your breath deepens. The world feels a little larger. And it doesn't need to be intense. Just 2 minutes. One sit, one stand. Repeat tomorrow. It's not exercise. It's a quiet affirmation. I am still here. I am still capable. 2. The slow disappearance we don't notice. When was the last time you sat on the floor? Not just to grab something, but to stay. If you can't remember, you're not alone. In many Western homes, the floor becomes forbidden territory after a certain age. Doctors caution against it. Families say, be careful. Chairs become permanent seats. But here's the truth. The less we go to the floor, the more we forget how to return. It's not sudden. There's no alarm. Just a slow erosion of strength, balance, and confidence, until one day, bending down feels foreign. Take Marcus, a retired librarian from Oregon. He walked 5 miles daily for years, strong legs, steady heart. But after avoiding the floor for over a decade, he bent to tie his shoe and couldn't rise without help. I was stunned, he said. I thought walking was enough. But it's different, isn't it? Yes, walking moves you forward. Floor transitions demand control, deep bends, shifting weight, coordination between hips, core, and balance. Without them, we keep big muscles but lose the small stabilizers that prevent falls. I once said chairs are like overprotective relatives, well-meaning but limiting. In Portugal, people don't retire from movement. They kneel to clean, squat to garden, Sit on mats for meals. Each motion is small, but over a lifetime, they add up to thousands of repetitions, rehearsals for independence. And without that independence, life shrinks. You skip gardening. You avoid cooking. You stop playing with pets on the floor. Not because you must, but because your body whispers, I can't. The tragedy? This isn't permanent. It's reversible with patience, with practice. But first, you must notice it's happening. In the West, help comes early. A child picks up your keys. A friend lifts your bag. We're grateful, but each let me is also a missed chance for your body to say, I can. Over time, it stops trying. So the question isn't, is the floor safe for me? It's, how can I make myself safe for the floor? That shift from fear to reclamation is where real change begins. And it starts earlier than we think. 3. The silent dialogue between body and mind. The house is still. Rain taps gently on the glass. The smell of toasted almonds drifts from the kitchen. Elena, 83, sits cross-legged on a mat, shelling peas into a ceramic bowl. She leans forward, shifts her weight, adjusts her posture. Without thought, she doesn't call it exercise. She calls it preparing lunch. Every movement is a signal, sent from muscle to brain, from joint to nervous system. It's communication. A 2017 study from Lisbon University, Daily Movement in Cognitive Health and Aging, found that elders who regularly moved at floor level scored 13% higher on memory tests and reported greater emotional stability than those who didn't. It's not magic. It's maintenance. Once, while changing a light bulb on my knees, I caught myself humming a tune I hadn't thought of in years. The focus of balancing there, arms up, body centered, created space in my mind. When you rise from the floor, your inner ear recalibrates. Your eyes scan for stability. Your legs send updates. We're stable. Proceed. This is why people who keep these habits often feel sharper. Their nervous system stays tuned. And there's something deeper, the quiet confidence of knowing you can. I spoke with Sophia, 88, who still kneels each evening to light a candle for her late husband. It reminds me I'm still here, she said, still able to honor him. That act wasn't just tradition. It was proof, physical and emotional, that her body still answered her. In the West, we often treat mind and body as separate, but deliberate, grounded movement connects them. When they communicate, you stop counting losses and start feeling what remains. One sit, one stand, and suddenly the mind clears. The day opens. The body remembers. If this resonates, I'd love for you to stay. A like or subscribe helps these stories find others. And the thanks button, it feeds someone tonight. Because strength isn't just personal. It's passed on. 4. A gentle return to the earth. Start small. No pressure. No timer. Just a mat, a quiet corner, and a moment when the world isn't calling. Choose a spot that feels like yours, near a window, beside your favorite chair. Use a yoga mat or folded blanket. Double the padding if needed. This isn't about toughness. It's about comfort. Step 1. Sit for 2 minutes. Any position, cross-legged, legs to the side, one bent, one straight. It might feel strange at first, like wearing shoes that fit just slightly wrong. But that's okay. Your body is relearning. 2 minutes is short enough to try, long enough to matter. Your thighs engage. Your hips loosen. Your spine lengthens. Your ankles wake up. You're not forcing movement. You're inviting it. I felt silly the first time. But by day 4, my breathing slowed the moment I sat. It was as if my body had been waiting for permission to relax. Step 2. Stand up once or twice. Use a wall, chair, or your hands. This isn't failure. It's rebuilding trust. A 2019 study from the Porto Institute of Aging found that seniors who practiced floor-to-stand transitions 10 times daily had 19% better balance and 15% stronger legs than those who didn't. Walking alone didn't provide this. The multidirectional demand was key. As you grow comfortable, weave movement into daily tasks. Fold laundry on the floor. Repot a plant. Write a letter while seated low. This is a Portuguese way. Movement with purpose. I met Carlos, 80, who still kneels to organize his painting supplies. His studio is filled with the scent of linseed oil. If I sit in a chair, I lose focus, he said with a smile. The floor keeps him grounded, literally and mentally. Try this 4-week path. Week 1, 2 minutes seated. 1 or 2 stands. Week 2, 3 minutes. 3 stands. Week 3, 1 meal on the floor. Notice the textures, the smells. Week 4, make a ritual. Add music, light a candle, enjoy tea. If the floor feels too far, start with a low stool. Practice slow squats. Hold the counter. Bend only as far as feels right. Progress isn't measured in depth, but in confidence. And as you practice, you'll notice less hesitation, more ease, a quiet pride when you reach for something low. These aren't just physical gains. They're signs your body is listening again. But the real gift? It's not flexibility. It's not strength. 5, the deeper reward. Clara, 85, lives above a small bakery in Sintra. Each morning, she walks down the hall, past the scent of rising dough. She opens a balcony door. A cool breeze brushes her face. Then she kneels on a folded towel to water her geraniums, red as ripe cherries, bright even on gray days. It's not about the flowers, she says. It's about knowing I can still care for them. That's the true gift. It's not training legs. It's affirming life. Every time she kneels, she says, I am still here. I still belong. I visited after a light rain. Her knees were damp, but her smile was wide. Wet knees, warm heart, she laughed. In the West, we call this mobility. In Portugal, it's participation. Serving tea, folding blankets, lighting candles. These aren't chores. They're acts of connection. When we stop doing them, we don't just lose strength. We lose our place in the rhythm of life. Science explains part of it. Circulation, neural firing, spatial awareness. But the heart knows more. Feeling useful keeps you alive. When I started watering a fern on my knees each morning, I didn't expect to linger. But soon, I noticed new leaves, smelled the soil, watched the light shift. It became more than movement. It became ritual, a quiet anchor. The floor isn't a danger. It's a bridge to your garden, your home, yourself. If that bridge feels distant, it's not gone. The first plank is waiting. 6, laying the first plank. How do you begin? Start with what you have. Anna, 84, began with a folded blanket by her bed. I wanted to see the garden from down there again, she said. She sat for 30 seconds, then a minute, then long enough to drink tea and watch the birds. Small steps, woven into life. Choose a safe spot. Link it to a habit, reading, folding clothes, feeding a pet. Use support, a chair, a wall, hands on knees. Support isn't weakness. It's wisdom. I tied my floor time to morning news. My coffee cooled faster, but I felt more present. Then add meaning. Tend a plant. Play with a dog. Sort old photos. The task pulls you in. The movement follows. A 2021 study in the European Journal of Aging and Movement found elders who practiced low-level functional movements had 25% fewer falls over 2 years due to improved reflexes and coordination. But the greatest gain? Trust. When you no longer fear kneeling or worry about rising, you reclaim more than mobility. You reclaim dignity. I saw it with Marta, 74, from Lisbon. After 10 weeks, she joined her grandchildren on a rug to build a puzzle. I didn't plan it, she said. I just sat and realized I was afraid. That's the reward. Not reps, but life lived without hesitation. And when that happens, the floor stops being a threat. It becomes a foundation. So here's what we've learned. This habit isn't about youth. It's about presence. Every sit, every stand, every bend. It's proof you're not fading. You're evolving. If you've come this far, I'm with you. You don't need Portugal. You don't need perfect form. Just a willingness to return to what your body still knows. And when you do, the floor won't hold you back. It will hold you up. If this moved you, a like or subscribe helps. And the thanks button, it warms someone tonight. Because strength isn't just kept, It's given.